Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a live battle from the 2005 format. On one side, we've got the Dark Dragonite and Electrode deck as used by Jefre Robert, a top 4 Worlds competitor in the Junior Division, going up against the Nidoqueen deck as used by Jeremy Maron, the Masters Division World Champion. The Dragonite deck is going to be focused on setting up a Dark Electrode on the bench to use its Poke-Power Darkness Navigation to pull Darkness energy added to the deck to equip onto itself, and then Dragonite can move that energy around with its Poke-Power Dark Trance to power itself up, or Rocket Sneasel. And the Nidoqueen deck is going to be focused on setting up a Nidoqueen as the main attacker with its Power Lariat attack, while Hideout is going to be using its Quick Search ability to search the deck once per turn for any card that the player is going to be needing. So we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. But before we begin, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and to my Twitter account at Holland_Phantom so you don't miss out on any new Pokemon TCG content. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle! And here we go, the battle has started, with both players stepping over their starting Pokemon. On the Dragonite side, we've got Dunsparce as the active Pokemon, and on the Nidoqueen side, we've got Nidoran as the active Pokemon. The Dragonite side is going to be going first, and the player's going to be starting off by benching a Dratini and a Voltorb, and then attaching a Rainbow Energy to Dunsparce, before attacking with Strike and Run. And now they can search the deck for 3 more basic Pokemon to add to their bench, so they can be choosing a Voltorb, Rocket Sneasel EX, and another Dratini. And that's going to do it for their first turn. They've got a full bench now. Okay, over to the other side, let's see what the Nidoqueen player can do. Alright, starting off with Celios Network as their supporter for the turn, so they can search the deck for any Pokemon that they want. So they're going to be choosing Pidgey to come down onto the bench. Pidgey is going to be the main support Pokemon once it evolves into Pidgeot. Oh, and speaking of which, this is going to be it. Yeah, there we see the rare candy to evolve Pidgey directly into Pidgeot on the first turn of the game. And now Pidgeot's going to be using its Quick Search Poke-Power to search the deck for a Great Ball, which then searches the deck for another Nidoran to place onto the bench. Quick Search is one of the most powerful abilities ever printed in the game, as the player can search the deck for any one card that they need every single turn. Okay, they receive the energy attachment, a fighting energy to the active Nidoran to attack with Look for Friends. And now the player can search the deck, the player can reveal cards off the top of their deck until they reveal a basic Pokemon to add to their hand. Okay, they've been revealing a bunch of cards so far, but still no basic Pokemon. A lot of evolutions though. There we see Nidorina, Pidgeotto, a lot of trainer cards. Oh man, a Nidoqueen, another Nidoqueen. Wow, where are the basic Pokemon in this deck? Still nothing. They're still going. There we go, finally. They get a thumbs up from the other side. Another Nidoran is going to be added to the player's hand for the following turn. But yeah, they went through a ton of cards. I think that was over half the deck. Okay, that's going to do it. Now back over to the Dragonite side. Let's see if they have any evolutions to come down. Yeah, there we see a Dark Electrode to evolve one of the Voltorb. And it's going to be activating its Poke-Power Darkness Navigation. It can search the deck for a Darkness Energy or Dark Metal Energy to equip onto itself. So the player's going to be choosing a Darkness Energy to equip onto the Dark Electrode. It can only use its Poke-Power if it doesn't already have an energy equipped onto it. Okay, the manual attachment is going to be a Rainbow Energy onto the Dark Electrode. And then we see the supporter for the turn, Professor Oak's Research. The player's going to be shuffling their hand away to draw 5 new cards. There's the cards being drawn. So let's see if the player has any more evolution cards to play this turn. Oh no, that's going to be it. They're going to be going for the attack Sudden Flash, hitting for 10 damage, but they're going to be getting a Tails on the coin flip, so there's no paralysis on the Nidoran. Okay, over to the Nidoqueen side. There we see the Nidoran coming down to the bench, and the player's going to be activating Copycat to shuffle their hand away. Now they can draw cards equal to the number of cards their opponent has in their hand. Okay, there we see 5 cards being drawn, and plus the player also has access to the Pidgeot ability to search for any card that they're going to be using. Okay, the active Nidoran evolves into Nidorina, and there's a Quick Search to search for... Okay, there's the card chosen. They don't have to reveal it to their opponent, so we don't know what it is quite yet. Okay, there we see a Heal Energy coming down to the active Nidorina, healing the 10 damage off of it, and there's the attack. It's going to be the Fast Evolution. And now the player can search the deck for 2 evolution cards to add to their hand, so they're going to be choosing 2 Nidoqueen. So as long as this active Nidorina doesn't get KO'd, it's going to be evolving once again on the following turn. Okay, back over to the Dragonite side now. There's a supporter, Rocket's Mission, discarding a Dunsparce from the hand to draw 3 cards from the deck. Do they have any more evolution cards this turn? Okay, there's the attachment of Darkness Energy onto one of the Dratini. Oh, but still no evolutions. There's the attack once again. Sudden Flash, hitting for 10 damage. Still no paralysis. Not that it would matter, because once Nidorina evolves into Nidoqueen, it would be healed of its paralysis. And speaking of which, there's the Nidoqueen coming down, the main attacker of this deck. It just needs one more energy to be fully powered up, and then we see a rare candy to evolve another Nidoran into a second Nidoqueen. And there's another copycat, once again shuffling the player's hand away to draw some cards equal to the number of cards their opponent has. Okay, that was 6 cards that time, and just in case they don't have any energy cards, they can still use the Pidgeot to get it out of the deck. Speaking of which, there's the Quick Search. So let's see what they're going to be getting. And the Nidoqueen should be taking the first KO, as Dunsparce is weak to Fighting-type Pokemon. And even if it wasn't, it's going to be dealing enough damage to take the KO anyway. There's the Grass Energy coming down to the Nidoqueen. There's the attack, Power Lariat, to take the KO against Dunsparce and taking the first prize of the game. Okay, on the other side, there we see Dratini coming into the active spot now. And now the player's going to be activating their supporter card, Wally's Training, to evolve this Dratini into Dark Dragonair. And now with Dark Dragonair in the active spot, the player's going to be activating their Poke Power, Evolutionary Light, to search the deck for any evolution card to add to their hand. So they're going to be choosing the Dark Dragonite. There we see another Voltorb coming down to the bench now. The manual attachment is going to be a Dark Metal Energy onto the bench Dratini, and that's going to be it. The player's going to be passing their turn, hoping that the Dark Dragonair doesn't get KO'd. But it might be okay, because Dark Dragonair does have 2 resistances, actually. It's resistant to both Grass Pokemon and Fighting Pokemon. So maybe Nidoqueen cannot take the KO. Okay, on the Nidoqueen side, there we see another Nidorina evolving on the bench, thanks to the supporter Celio's Network. And there's the Quick Search from the Pidgeot to search the deck for... Here we see the chosen card. Oh, and also a double Rainbow Energy was equipped onto the bench Nidoqueen. Just needs 1 more energy to be fully powered up too. And there's the attack Power Lariat, hitting for just 50 damage. 20 damage short of taking the one-hit KO. Okay, there's the Evolutionary Light. Once again, searching the deck for any evolution card. And now the player's going to be searching for another Dark Electrode to evolve one of the Voltorb on the bench. And now the active Dragonair evolves into Dragonite, finally. The main Pokemon of the deck. There's the Poke Power Dark Trance, moving some energy around on their side of the field. So let's see what they're going to be ending up. Okay, looks like it's going to be 2 Darkness Energy and a Dark Metal Energy on the active Dragonite. So it can use its Claw Swipe attack. And now both Dark Electrode have access to their Poke Powers. Okay, there's one activating. Searching the deck for... There's the Darkness Energy. And there's the second one, searching the deck for... the final Darkness Energy. In this format, there's no basic Darkness Energy. They're all special energy cards. So actually, in a way, if there's any standard format players watching this video, it's kind of equivalent to the Archeops that's currently legal in the Lugia V-Star deck, as Dark Electrode can search the deck for special energy cards to equip onto itself. And then the Dark Dragonite can move them around. Okay, there was the attack Claw Swipe, hitting for 80 damage, so now Nidoqueen is within KO range on the following turn. Okay, but the player's going to be activating their supporter card, Mr. Brainy's Compassion, to pick up the Nidoqueen back into the player's hand to wipe all the damage off the board. There we see the second Nidoqueen coming into the active spot. The Nidoran comes back down to the bench. The other Nidoran evolves into Nidorina, and the Nidorina evolves into Nidoqueen. There's a Quick Search to search the deck for another card. It's going to be, looks like it was a Feebas that time, coming down onto the bench. So it can be used to heal some Pokemon once it evolves into Milotic later in the game. There's the attack Power Lariat, hitting for... It was just 40 damage that time. Power Lariat hits for 40 damage, plus 10 more damage for every evolved Pokemon on the Nidoqueen side. But the damage is reduced because of the double Rainbow Energy and because of the resistance on the Dark Dragonite. Okay, on the other side there we see the supporter card Scott being activated to search the deck for 3 supporter cards. There was 2 Mr. Brainy's Compassion and a Copycat being added to the player's hand. Okay, now the player's going to be activating a switch to move the Dark Dragonite out of the active spot, and now the player's going to be promoting one of their Dark Electrode. So it might be the attacker for the turn, although it is weak to Fighting-type Pokemon, so Nidoqueen can't take the one-hit KO against it. There we see the Dark Trance moving some energy around once again. And then we see both of the Poke Powers activating on the Dark Electrode, searching the deck for Dark Metal Energy, and another Dark Metal Energy. Okay, this Dark Electrode does need a Lightning Energy to use its attack, but the player does have access to a Rainbow Energy, which can count as a Lightning Energy for the turn. Okay, and speaking of which, the Dark Trance moves as a Lightning Energy, and it looks like all the Darkness Energy onto Electrode to power it up, as each Darkness Energy gives it 10 more attack points. Okay, going to be dealing some damage with Dark Electrode, and there we see the manual attachment, another Rainbow Energy. Taking 10 more damage from the Rainbow Energy attachment. And there's the attack Energy Bomb, hitting for 70 damage. And now after Electrode attacks, it can move all the damage back onto the bench. So even if he gets KO'd, the player's not going to be losing any of their energy cards. Okay, so just placing some damage on the Nidoqueen, but this Dark Electrode is going to be getting KO'd on the following turn. Okay, on the other side there we see the Grass Energy coming down to one of the Nidoqueen on the bench, and there's Quick Search. The player can use Milotic to evolve Feebas and heal their Nidoqueen. Okay, but they're actually going to be searching the deck for another Nidoqueen to evolve their bench Nidorina. And also, if they evolved the Feebas into Milotic, it would also heal their opponent's Pokemon, so the Dark Dragonite would be completely healed. Okay, there was the attack Power Lariat to take the KO against Dark Electrode, taking the second prize card. Now the Nidoqueen player is 2 prizes ahead in the game. There we see the next Dark Electrode coming into the active spot. A second Rocket Sneasel comes down to the bench. And there's Darkness Navigation to search the deck for another Dark Metal Energy. And with that, I think that's 10 energy on board for the Dark Dragonite side. Okay, there's the Dark Trance, moving some energy around once again. The Dark Electrode does need the Rainbow Energy to use its Energy Bomb attack. Okay, it's going to be the same thing as last time, so it's going to be 1 Rainbow Energy and 4 Darkness Energy on the Dark Electrode to hit for another 70 damage to take the KO against Nidoqueen. And also, the Dark Dragonite's moving the energy away from itself onto Dratini, and there's Mr. Briny's Compassion to pick up the Dark Dragonite back into the player's hand to completely take all the damage off the board. The Dratini comes back down, the other one evolves into Dark Dragonair, and there's the attack, Energy Bomb, finally taking the first prize for the Dragonite side. And all the energy is going to be going back to the bench. Okay, the player's just going to be spreading some of the energy around. Okay, there we go. They take their first prize, and on the other side, the Pidgeot comes into the active spot. It does have that free retreat to act as a pivot. Okay, there's a Quick Search. Searching the deck for... Okay, there might be a double Rainbow Energy to fully power up the Nidoqueen on the bench. And like last time, the Nidoqueen can't take the one-hit KO against Dark Electrode. Yeah, that's going to be the play. Double Rainbow Energy, powering up the Nidoqueen. Are we going to be seeing any supporter cards this turn? Okay, there's the Rare Candy to evolve the Nidoran into another Nidoqueen. That's going to be the 4th one of the game. There's the attack Power Lariat to take the KO against Dark Electrode. And taking the 3rd prize card for the Nidoqueen side. They're halfway through, taking the victory in this game. Okay, on the other side, there we see Dark Dragonair coming into the active spot. The player's going to be activating the Poke Power Evolutionary Light to search the deck for another Dark Dragonair to evolve the bench Dratini. Okay, now the active Dragonair evolves into Dragonite once again to have access to the Claw Swipe attack, and there we see the trainer card Pokemon Retriever to search the discard pile for Dark Electrode, Voltorb, and another Dark Electrode to be shuffled back into the deck. So the player's going to be having access to the Energy Bomb attack later on in the game. Okay, there's the manual attachment, a Rainbow Energy onto the Voltorb. It's going to be taking 10 damage. And then Dratini comes down onto the bench now. Once again, they have a full bench. There's the attack, Claw Swipe, hitting for 70 damage. 50 damage base, plus 20 damage because of the special Darkness Energies. Okay, on the other side, the bench Nidoqueen's going to be getting a double Rainbow Energy, and there we see the Quick Search to search the deck for any one card. Okay, and there we see the Milotic finally coming down to activate its Poke Power. Healing Shower to completely heal the Nidoqueen of all the damage it just took. And it's going to be also healing the 10 damage off the Voltorb on the other side. And there's the attack Power Lariat hitting for... oh, only 50 damage. So at this rate, the Nidoqueen's going to be having to do a 3-hit KO against his Dragonite because of the resistance. And there's the supporter card, Copycat, to shuffle the hand into the deck and drawing... Oh, that was a lot of cards. I think that was 9 cards total. Wow. Pretty big hand they've got now. The bench Dragonair evolves into another Dark Dragonite. And there's the attack, another Claw Swipe, hitting for 70 damage once again. And I don't think that the Nidoqueen player has access to any more healing cards. No more Milotic and no more Mr. Brightness Compassion. The bench Nidoqueen's going to be getting a Grass Energy to fully powered up. And there's a Quick Search now. To search the deck for a Pidgey to place onto the bench. The player's going to be trying to get some more evolved Pokemon on their side of the field to power up the Power Lariat attack. And speaking of which, there it is. Hitting for another 50 damage. Dragonite has taken 100 damage so far. So the player's going to be having to use either Mr. Brightness Compassion to pick it back up into their hand, or a switch to get out of the active spot. Okay, and they did have the Mr. Brightness Compassion, so all the energy was moved onto the Dratini on the bench first. Mr. Brightness Compassion picks up the Dragonite, and then the second Dragonite comes into the active spot now to take the KO against Nidoqueen. The Dratini comes back down. The other one evolves into Dark Dragonair. There's the attack, Claw Swipe, taking the KO against Nidoqueen and taking the second prize card for the Dragonite player. Okay, they're starting to catch up now. On the other side, there we see the next Nidoqueen coming into the active spot. So let's see how much damage it can deal this turn. The Pidgey evolves into a Pidgeotto, and there's Quick Search to search the deck for... There's the chosen card. Okay, it's also important to note that the Dark Dragonite is weak to colorless Pokemon, so actually Pidgeot can deal a lot of damage into it. Okay, but the attachment is going to be coming down to the Nidoqueen on the bench. And there's the attack of the Power Lariat hitting for 50 damage. And there's the Stadium card coming down, Rocket's Hideout, to give all Dark Pokemon 20 more HP. And there's Pokemon Reversal. Oh, and the player got a heads on the coin flip. They're going to be choosing their opponent's Pidgeot to drag into the active spot to potentially take the KO against it, but it does have 100 HP. Oh, and here we go. The player has the Rocket Energy. It counts as a double Darkness Energy, but it also gives the Pokemon 10 extra attack points. So with all 4, Special Darkness Energy and the Rocket Energy, the Claw Swipe can hit for exactly 100 damage for the KO. Okay, there we see a rare candy to evolve the Dratini into another Dragonite. Followed by Rocket's Adamant to disrupt both players' hands. But because the Pidgeot is going to be getting KO'd, this might be more harmful to the Nidoqueen player. Okay, the Dragonite player is going to be drawing 4 cards and 3 cards for the Nidoqueen player, the same cards as they have a number of prizes. Okay, there we see the Voltorb finally evolving into Dark Electrode on the bench. There's the attack, Claw Swipe, taking the KO against Pidgeot. The Rocket Energy only lasts for a single turn. It goes to the discard pile now, but it was more than enough. Okay, now the player has caught up. Both sides are tied at 3 prizes remaining apiece. There we see the next Nidoqueen coming back into the active spot now. It still cannot take the KO against the Dragonite. Oh, actually the Pidgeotto evolves into Pidgeot, so it's a good thing to set it up on the previous turn. Okay, there's a Quick Search from the new Pidgeot to search the deck for any 1 card. And let's see what they're going to be using. There we see a Manual Attachment, another Fighting Energy onto the bench Nidoqueen. And the player has a Steven's Advice to draw 6 cards out of the deck. Just to once again build up their hand. Another Pidgey comes down to the bench. And then we see the Stadium Desert Ruins to replace a Rocket's Hideout on the other side. And there's the attack, Power Lariat, hitting for... I think it's only 40 damage that time. Yeah, so Dragonite still has 30 HP remaining. But the player is out of Mr. Brightness Compassion. There's only 2 in the deck. There we see the next supporter card, Steven's Advice, to draw 5 cards. 1 card for every Pokemon on the opponent's side. So let's see what they can do. Okay, they got another Pokemon Reversal. Here's the coin flip. Oh, but they got a Tails that time. So they can't bring up the Pidgeot from the bench now. Okay, there we see the Dark Trance. Moving 3 Darkness Energy from the active Dragonite to the benched one now. and the other one's going to be going to the Dark Dragonair. Okay, there we see some Dark Metal energies coming up to the active Pokemon. Okay, it's going to be using them to pay the retreat cost. Dark Dragonite goes to the bench to get out of KO range, and now the next one's going to be coming into the active spot to start dealing some damage. There's the attack, Claw Swipe, hitting for 80 damage that time. Now Nidoqueen might have to do the same thing in retreat, unless the player wants to give up another prize to their opponent. Okay, on the bench, the Pidgey evolves into another Pidgeotto. There's Quick Search from the Pidgeot. Yeah, this Pidgeot does add a lot of consistency to the deck. That's why, like I said, it's one of the strongest Poke Powers ever printed in the game. That's why it actually got reprinted in the current format in the Pidgeot EX. Okay, there we see the manual attachment. It's going to be a Grass Energy on the bench Nidoqueen. And the active one's going to be paying the retreat cost to go back to the bench to promote the healthy one. And because this one does not have the double Rainbow Energy, it's going to be hitting for even more damage. It's going to be hitting for 60 damage, which actually will be a 2-hit KO into this Dark Dragonite. Okay, let's see what the player can do. There we see Celio's Network to search the deck for any Pokemon. And it's going to be the final Dark Dragonite coming down. So I think once again the active one's going to be retreating to send in the third one. Okay, yeah, there we see the Dark Trance activating, moving some Dark Metal Energy onto the active one. And then it's going to be using those to pay the retreat cost. The player's going to be conserving their Darkness Energy because they do boost the damage from the Claw Swipe attack. And now the new Dark Dragonite jumps into the active spot. Okay, once again, Dark Trance going to be moving some energy around. Oh, actually, it's not going to be going to the Dark Electrode, not to the active Pokemon. Okay, but the player does have the Rocket Energy to power up the Claw Swipe. Yeah, there's the attack, Claw Swipe, hitting for 70 damage. It's going to be a 2-hit KO. And now Nidoqueen, even if it does retreat to the bench, nothing can stand up to another attack from the other side, because the other Nidoqueen is already damaged. And the Milotic and now both Pidgeot are weak to lightning Pokemon, so the Dark Electrode can take the 1-hit KO against them. So the Nidoqueen player is going to be giving up a prize on the following turn. There we see Heal Energy coming down to the Pidgeot on the bench, followed by Rocket's Admin. Both players shuffle away their hands to draw 3 cards apiece. So the Nidoqueen player is just trying to disrupt the Dragonite player as much as possible. Yeah, there's the attack, Power Lariat, hitting for 60 damage. So this Dragonite is within KO range on the following turn. Okay, but they're going to be using a Warp Point, forcing both players to swap out their active Pokemon. So on the Nidoqueen side is going to be the Milotic, going up against the Dark Electrode. Okay, so they're going to be using this Pokemon to take a KO, and also to preserve their energy by sending it all to the bench after Electrode attacks. Okay, there we see the Professor Oak's Research, to shuffle a hand away and draw 5 new cards out of the deck. And that should be enough for the 1-hit KO. Yeah, there's the attack. Energy Bomb. Hitting for, I think that was 60 damage times 2 for the 1-hit KO against Milotic. And now it looks like the Dark Dragonite player has taken the lead. 2 prizes remaining to 3. Okay, there we see the Nidoqueen coming into the active spot once again. It can take the 1-hit KO against Dark Electrode, but Nidoqueen is pretty damaged up already, so either of these Dragonites can take the KO in return. Okay, there we see another full heal energy on the Pidgeot, followed by another Rocket's Admin. Once again disrupting the Dragonite player. And this time they can only draw 2 cards. Okay, so Nidoqueen can take the KO against Electrode. Dragonite takes the KO against Nidoqueen. And Pidgeot takes the KO against the Dragonite. But I think one of the Sneasel can take the KO against Pidgeot, which should be enough to close out the game. Okay, there was a quick search to search the deck for any card. Okay, there's the Power Lariat taking the KO against Dark Electrode. Now both sides are tied at 2 prizes remaining apiece, but like I said, I think Dark Dragonite does have the advantage right now. Okay, yeah, there we see one of the Dragonite coming into the active spot now. It does need 3 energy to attack, and because Dragonite's going to be getting KO'd on the following turn, It's going to be 3 energy going to the discard pile. There we see the Rocket's Hideout, swapping out the Desert Ruins from their opponent's side. And there we see Copycat to shuffle the hand away to draw. That was 5 cards. The same number of cards that their opponent has in their hand. Okay, there's Dark Trance before the attack. They don't need all 5 of these energies, so they're going to be moving some onto the bench to be used on the future turn. Okay, looks like all of them are going to be going to the Rocket Sneasel. And then all 3 of the Rainbow energies are going to be on the Dark Dragonite. Okay, so with all 3 Rainbow energy on Dragonite, Dark Electrode will not be able to attack on any future turns because there's no more Lightning energy in the deck. Okay, there's the attack. Claw Swipe to take the KO against Nidoqueen. Taking the 5th prize card for the Dark Dragonite side. Okay, yeah, there we see the Pidgeot coming into the active spot now. Like I said, it does hit for weakness into the Dark Dragonite. There we see double Rainbow Energy on the benched Pidgeot, followed by another Desert Ruins to replace the Rocket's Hideout. There's Quick Search, searching the deck for any 1 card, although honestly I don't think it matters anymore. This is pretty much a checkmate situation because Rocket Sneasel can't take the KO against anything on the next turn. Okay, but the Nidoqueen player is going to be going down swinging. There's the attack Clutch, taking the KO against Dragonite, and now both sides are tied, and 1 prize remaining apiece, but this is going to be the game. There we see Rocket Sneasel coming into the active spot. Full Turbo into Electrode. There's another energy card. And there's the final attack, Dark Ring, taking the KO against Pidgeot to take the final prize card. And there's the handshake. Dark Dragonite is your winner. So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Hall and Phantom logging out.